It is said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome to the Big House, home of the Michigan Wolverines. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Washington Huskies, taking on the 8th-ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. And the Wolverines will kick it away first. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. They'll try the run. Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Here's the handoff. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield to make that tackle for loss. That was impressive.
Softened him up with a run, and now to throw. Finds his big tight end. Brings him down at the 48. It's a gain of 15 and a first down.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
This Washington offense moving quickly down the field. The give to the back. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
Man, did you see the D tackle just slice through the offensive line? That's how you get penetration. That's how you dial up the tackle for loss.
Wants to fire on second down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And I like where the quarterback got because I think he needed to check the football down, but the pressure got there a little bit too fast, and he just didn't have enough time to get it to his running back and maybe put a positive spin on this play instead of an incompletion.
Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. Taking it the other way. Touchdown, Wolverines. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
You always want to come out and set the tone as a defense. Get a stop, make a punt. How about this? Get the INT and take it back to the house. Way to set the tone for this defense early.
They get set for the point afters. We have the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out and not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Racing down the left side. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
And the point after is good. What a display of explosive capabilities on that drive. 75 yards, 2 plays, and a touchdown. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. All wideouts, no backs. They're going to throw it to start the drive. He turns it loose to the left. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play.
Yeah, and the QB, tell you what, he does a good job of buying time, scrambling outside of the pocket to the left, but the defense holds true, understands their responsibilities. I can't just leave my guys deep. Good coverage, which leads to the overthrow.
Fights off a defender. Gets it across the 30 to the 31, a pickup of 5.
And I would just hate to be in the shoes of these defenders trying to tackle this running back because, of course, you're so afraid of this guy shaking you and using his elite speed to make you look bad on a highlight film somewhere. When you forget, this guy can still run you over. And you saw it on that play.
They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
And the evolution of the quarterback position. Basically, you should call them running backs who throw the ball really well now.
And guys, you know the other thing that happens here is that sets up the next play because you've sort of left the defensive line gassed trying to run down the quarterback.
Oh, you got to be in shape, chasing it around all day on design runs, on scrambles, and it's just and the +1 advantage you get by having that guy. It's so hard to defend.
The Wolverines will line it up on 1st and 10. They'll go back to the ground. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line. Being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
And the Wolverines now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. So now it's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Got his man. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
They'll try to move the chains on this 3rd and long from the 50. They want to run this quarterback. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. Wants to adjust the pattern. They're throwing for it on 4th down. Makes the grab past the marker. There he goes. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that 4th down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
He dialed up a beauty on that last one. It got him inside the red zone. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 16. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. And he's tackled, but there's also a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. The offense set for a 1st down play. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. He's inside the 10. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped.
I think throughout the week in practice, when they were game planning their opening script, I don't even know if they envisioned it going as well as it has. This has been beautiful. Nice balance, really nice rhythm. It feels like everything they're dialing up here on their first drive of the game is working to perfection.
The Wolverines are threatening on 1st and goal. He'll set up to throw. Under fire. Gets it into the end zone, but there's a flag down. We'll see if this one is coming back. That is a costly mistake as the penalty wipes the touchdown off the board. The offense knocking on the door. 1st and goal. And the Wolverines had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. He put it out there for him, and the senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection.
And this offense shows right away on 1st down. They're willing to pass down here. Does this soften them up a little bit for the run here on 2nd down and goal?
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
That play had 0 shot. They got to do a better job up front, creating some running lanes. The running back, before he could go anywhere, getting tackled, nowhere to go.
It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Snagged in the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
And this quarterback really does a great job of seeing the defense, seeing what kind of coverage they're in. And I think when this offense goes empty and they spread the defense out, it just makes it so much more simple for the QB to see what the defense is doing pre-snap and then post-snap. You can tell he's playing in a great rhythm right now because he's seeing the field, and these empty sets are really helping him out.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. from the gun. They'll try the middle. Turning it on. Able to make his way past the sticks for the first down, and the time is going to drain out here in the first quarter. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. One period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. First play of the period, first down here. They'll ride the hot hand. Shakes off the defender. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Huskies can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes, he's got some speed, and if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
Washington coming to the line with another first down. They're looking for an advantage in the running game to the right. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
The RPO, fire complete to the left. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep. You don't really want to lose track of anybody, but I would say, David, especially not him.
Yeah, when you know he's really good, that's a good to say. Hey, sometimes you double him. Well, and sometimes you run the old zero coverage, like nobody covers him at all. And that's what they did right there. That's not good sound defense.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And this is an area of the field, man, who can be more physical. And you know I'm going to run the football a lot of times in these goal-to-go situations. First and goal, can I be physical? Can I get closer? The defense won that physical battle. Interested to see now if the offense thinks they can still run, or do they go to the passing game?
To the air on second down. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Second and goal, no dice for this offense. If I'm on offense right now, I'm thinking about who are my mismatches? Who are my big bodies out wide that I can throw them the football and they can make a play over top of somebody?
Looking for the touchdown on third and goal. It's complete to the right. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Fourth and goal from the 4, and look at this. The offense still on the field. They'll go for it. They want to throw it. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision making.
Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Well, the last time they had it, the long field didn't bother them in the least, and they'll try to do it. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. And that one falls incomplete. They tried to go over the top on first down. Second down coming up.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Leaves it with the running back. It's these little moments like that that can help an offense as he gets it up to the 16-yard line.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
The Wolverines line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Crosses to 30. They'll mark him out of bounds short of the 40 at the 37-yard line, but a big-time pickup on the ground.
And that's a great sign for this offense because this year we know there's been a little bit of inconsistency, and I think the biggest problem has been 3rd down. Right there, nice job executing, running the ball, picking up the first, and keeping this drive alive.
And the Wolverines come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Looking downfield on 1st down. Running into the open space. Brings him down at the 48. It's a gain of 15 and a 1st down. The Wolverines have this offense rolling. Off the play fake on 1st down. It's complete to the left. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get into the ground. You want many guys swarming to the football, trying to get that elusive guy on the ground.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. They're lining up in the Wildcat. Let's see what they have dialed up for this one. Sends it back in motion. Snap to the back. And this Wildcat is going to be declawed, stopped in the backfield.
And great recognition by the corner. That touch pass after he throws at the quarterback, it's a pass. He can't throw it forward again. Nice job understanding that, flying up, coming and making the big tackle in the open field.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Those are hard for offensive linemen when they get beat, and you're going, no, look out for your blind side, watch out. But great job rushing the quarterback, getting him on the ground, and getting the football out, a little extra bonus. Nice job by the defense getting nasty.
Wants to throw on 1st down. That's reeled in. It's Prince. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2. And the Huskies with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. They'll go up top on 2nd and short. Grabbed over the middle. It's Prince. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
Slant routes, they're good against man coverage, but they're good against zone coverage too. If that receiver can find the soft spot between the linebacker and the DB, you'll take that throw all day.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Working that left side now. And they make the tackle, but the official has tossed his flag. That offensive line grabbing and holding on, and they'll back up and try it again. After getting moved back, it's 1st and 20. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
When you get this far behind the chains and it's a guaranteed passing situation, defensive linemen go to work. That's what we do. We want to get sacks. We want to rush the quarterback, especially in known situations like this. That's why the quarterback tasted that dirt.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
This is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
The Huskies will be forced to boot it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Punt is in the air on 4th down. Making sure there's no return on that one as the punt sails out of bounds. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. The Huskies will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They'll open the second half with a run. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the huge pickup. Not much can impose your will on a defense like popping a big run.
Especially when they know you're going to run it, right? This offense right now is just more physical. They're more physical up front in the trenches. And this running back and his ability to break tackles, that is just so demoralizing for this defense.
And the Wolverines, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Wants to go up top on 1st down. It's complete on the right side. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another 1st down. Good job by the receiver there not to run into coverage, but to find a spot that the quarterback could throw him the ball.
Yeah, on those types of routes, Reese, they say if you're looking, you're booking. So if that's man coverage, the receiver's staring at the quarterback all the way across the field. That time, the receiver didn't give the quarterback his eyes, so they were on the same page. They both knew it was zone, and they executed that perfectly.
And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
The Wolverines with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. He might want another play. Back to pass on 2nd down. Punts it out of the air. He is guided out of bounds, and they'll mark it at the 28.
A nice job by the quarterback there, working through his progressions. Nothing open down the field, so he checks it down to his drag route coming from the slot receiver to get the completion.
They'll snap it from the 28 in field goal range, but it's 3rd and short. This is a designed run. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. Well, they're certainly not out of field goal range here, but they want to try to pay off this drive with a touchdown. They'll go for it on 4th. They've got enough for the first down, and they're in the red zone at the 20. And the Wolverines come to the line in the hurry-up. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Got his man on the outside. He'll get it all the way down to the 8-yard line, and the defense is feeling the heat.
And a great job by the QB, find the running back, get him the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
The Wolverines line it up with a 1st and goal. Wants to go up top. Got it in the middle. It's Vaughn. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Wants to go up top. Under fire. Looking to scramble. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Wolverines. Well, that didn't necessarily go as planned, but it was most effective in the end.
I love it, Reese. Down in the red zone, this quarterback didn't have anybody open. Didn't panic. He just decided, man, I'm going to go do this myself. I'm going to use my wheels and put up 6 on the board. He did just that.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive, and he found his way to the end zone from the 7 to cap it. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
2nd down, he'll throw it. Snagged in the middle, it's Prince. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down.
Our coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Big noise, big house, trying to rile up this Michigan defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Spits it out to the back. And the 3rd down pass is incomplete.
Well, after struggling so much in the first half, you thought they would have made some adjustments here at halftime to see if they can open up this passing game. But early on in the second half, they're just not really able to get that done. Incompletion on 3rd down in your own end, you're expecting them to punt.
Washington sends out the punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. So here comes the Michigan offense. How about the way they attacked the last time they had the ball, mixing run and pass and winding up in the end zone, Jesse.
That's why recruiting is so important. They've got weapons at every...
He hurls one deep down the left side. Intercepted. They were back in their own end, and they stopped the drive.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
Running to the left. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle.
And coming out in the second half, this offense, they needed to establish this run game. They needed to get something going. They're losing. They've got to find a way to get a flow, to get a rhythm. And so far here to start this second half, defense picking up where it left off.
Motion from the wide receiver. Second down, they'll go to the air. Looking downfield. Complete to the right. A little more space. Open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30.
Really nice looking pass there. You think about all the great Washington quarterbacks, right? Warren Moon, the Heward brothers, Mark Brunell, Jake Browning. The greatest quarterback name in college football history, Sonny Sixkiller. That guy was throwing seeds at the University of Washington. And this dude right here, putting on his best Sonny Sixkiller impersonation.
Quick release on the RPO. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43.
I like the QB here. Very decisive, understanding I get the ball to my slot guy, he can make plays after it. Like the quickness, the speed, the elusiveness. You watch it, man, just he catches the football and a big play can happen. And you saw after the catch, man, he's got some wheels.
From the gun, the running back has it. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Handoff to the lone back. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage and getting running backs on the ground.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Release to the back. Caught near the sticks. It's Humphries. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. They go back to work in the final period of this one. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Wide receiver going in motion. From the gun, the running back looking for room. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
Well, you love to see that from the defense, right? It's like bend, don't break. They've given up a bunch of plays on this drive, but now that they're getting down close to field goal range, you're seeing them start to stiffen up.
Yeah, and plays don't matter anymore. Yards don't matter. All that matters with these defenses nowadays is points and limiting them.
Off the RPO, fire right, trying to convert. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28.
And even though they're trailing here in the fourth quarter, they've got a quarterback that can bring them back, but they need him now to play his A-plus level of football. We saw a nice completion on that last third down. Let's see if he can keep it going.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Going to swing it on second down. They're working that left side. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
You got to like this defense, man. All game long, great job tackling the football. Like, you throw it on the perimeter, they're coming up. They're not giving the run after the catch to these receivers. A lot of times you see so much damage done after the catch. This defense has been dialed in, and the big play has been a non-issue.
More than 100,000 making their presence felt. A huge third down here in the big house. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Ball's at the 24, a lot of confidence in their kicker from here, but they'd love to take it off of his foot and convert the first down. From the gun, wants to pass. Out of the backfield, he's open. And he'll have to check his fillings after that lick, but he did get the first down.
And this offense is going to have to be aggressive, right? Down a couple possessions, got to continue to get these first downs, move quick, don't be in a hurry, but they've got to keep the accelerator down because they need some explosive plays.
From the gun, running back gets to give. Oh, what a cut! And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Huskies! Before that score, considering last rites, now all of a sudden, they're not dead yet. In fact, they're feeling much better, and they're alive, and they've got a chance.
And I'm looking on the field right now, and I'm looking at their sideline. They're energized, Reese. After that last score, all of a sudden, they believe they can come back and win this game. This is a totally different-looking team than what we saw earlier.
Ready to try the point after. And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. Precise, relentless execution on that 13-play scoring drive. And it was capped off with an impressive 16-yard run for the score. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. And now that cushion is a little bit smaller, Jesse, and any mistake would get magnified.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure now on this offense too, David. I think they got to go back to their playmakers and get these guys going in the game.
No doubt, find those plays you know you can run them in your sleep. You make sure you execute, build this lead a little bit bigger, put this thing away in the fourth quarter.
They couldn't draw up a better way to start a drive, and now they've got it 1st and 10 from the 41. The handoff, keep working on that clock. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
And he's shown you a little bit of everything today. Shows you why he's a really good back. And the line's paved some holes. And he's right at 99 yards. And the way this game's going with the lead, he's going to get a few more touches, break that century mark. And when you do, you have a great chance of winning football games.
Right back to it. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
It's not a flashy play call, but that is exactly what it was designed to do. Get 2 yards, get the first down.
And the Wolverines have it with a 1st and 10. 2-minute timeout arrives, and this defense desperately needs to get the football back. Now from the 48-yard line, it's 1st and 10. They'll go to the ground. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7. Stuck with a running game on 1st down. Now here they come again. Give to the back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. I mean, you put the ball in your best player's hands. Like, late in the game, you've got to trust your guy. I'm interested to see what they do here on 3rd down coming up. Let's call it 3rd and interesting, right? Top clock ticking down. Do I trust my QB to throw the football? I got the lead. I want that clock to continue to roll.
They'll move the wide receiver. Quarterback, quick pass to the receiver. Breaks into the open. And there they go again with another huge gain on the ground. He's finally run out of bounds. Guys, this one's going to go down as a nice win against a ranked opponent, and we didn't get the upset that many had thought we might.
No, they proved to the entire country watching this game that they are indeed the superior team. Offensively, defensively, running, throwing, whatever it is they wanted to get accomplished today in all 3 phases, David, they were better.
Yeah, and listen, at this point, I don't really care about the beauty contest. Like, your goal is to survive and advance. You played a really, really good opponent. You took care of business and continue to stay above them in the rankings, which is the only thing that matters at this point in the season.